KEMSA allows counties to have a debt up to 90 days, and that is 3 months. And yes, when debts accumulate, it does not mean that our patients have to wait until when money is available for them to get sick. Patients get sick, require drugs even when the treasury has not disbursed their monies. And therefore, it's only become necessary for us to get debts from KEMSA to be able to serve those people. But if we have a way of telling our patients not to get sick until we get money to pay KEMSA, then we don't be having these debts. At the end of the day, there is no country that usually gets drugs to go and sell. All the drugs that are usually taken from KEMSA are usually used in treating our patients. So the issue of arrears, the issue of debts is necessitated by the fact that our patients have been treated up to date. Even as we speak right now, they are demanding for drugs and they have 3 months arrears of disbursement from the treasury. For the last 3 days, we have seen a deliberate attempt by KEMSA, the national government and their proponents to try and paint the counties as having been unable to meet their debt obligation as far as drug supply are concerned in KEMSA. Allow me to state the following facts. For one, the counties usually pay their debts to KEMSA depending on the age of the debt. And it's also important to note that there is no county that usually buys from KEMSA upfront. It's always a debt, and therefore there's nothing wrong with having a debt. The problem is when the debt accumulates beyond the 90 days. On the issue of the debts that have accumulated beyond the 90 days, allow me to state the following. One, the national government through Treasury owes the 47 counties a total of just above 100 billion up to the end of the financial year, which is just a few days to the end of the financial year. And therefore, most of the counties have paid their salaries. They have met their basic obligations in the counties, including the daily utility bills. The biggest problem is debts owed to suppliers, which have not been met because of the fact that the treasury owes the counties 3 months worth of disbursement. If the treasury was giving counties their money as is stated in the law on the 15th of every month, I can assure you that there is no county that will be having any debt to KEMSA by the end of each month. And therefore, I urge the treasury to release the funds for the counties, all that is owed to them, and I would ask the KEMSA to check their accounts at the end of the month when that money has been released. I think it is also important for me to note that we believe as Council of Governors is more than what meets the eye. There is a possibility that we are trying to propagate this narrative that the Council of Governors or the counties have been unable to manage the health sector. And I want to say the Council of Governors and the counties have done very well as far as health is concerned. And we cannot be measured by just this one fact of deaths to the KEMSA, which is necessitated by delay of disbursement. On the other hand, the national government had promised to give monies or capitalize KEMSA to the tune of 2 billion. And that was about 6 months ago. That money was taken off the budget that was supposed to be for MES equipments. To date, KEMSA has not received that money. And therefore, even KEMSA itself is struggling. So even when you look at the 3 billion that is said to be owed by the Council of Governors or the counties, let the national government also give the KEMSA the 2 billion so that it will be able to meet the order defer rates that is supposed to be over 70% to ensure that counties have everything that they order from KEMSA. At the moment, it's not everything that they order from KEMSA that is available. And therefore, counties could be having debt also for other entities outside beyond KEMSA that are supplying drugs, or they may have even have paid them. And therefore, it is not only KEMSA that is a source of drugs for the county governments. I think when I look at the way the argument is being pushed, and I may not necessarily have to say by who, I think there's a deliberate effort to taint counties as being unable to run the health sector, and therefore the push to bring it back to the national government. And that is a narrative that can be bought by Kenyans, because Kenyans have seen what is happening in the health space as compared to the time when you did not have devolution or there before. I know in my county, I'm said to be owing the much I owe, but once I get my full disbursement, I will not be having any debts owed to cancer on behalf of my county. Thank you.